And everyone, it is your 2025 DBD World. Okay, it's gone. Okay, we'll try again. Everyone, it is the 2025 DBD World Cup. Oh, Jesus. Everyone, it is my pleasure to announce the opening day of the 2025 DBD World Cup. Whoopsie daisy. It's the 2025 DBD World Cup. Here we go. Let me draw the curtain immediately. There are no other gamers here with me. That would be a nightmare to organise. I don't have time. It's all me. But I'm going to be playing every single one of these killer head-to-head matchups. We'll play a game as one killer. We'll play a game as the other. It is a game of most hooks win. If they get the same number of hooks, it's a draw. That all goes into the group stages over there. Then the winner from each group and the strongest second places will go all the way over here into the playoffs. And then we will crown, as we scroll over here, we will crown in a best of 5 matchup our 2025 DBD World Cup champion. We did this in 2022. We did this in 2023. Then due to a number of reasons, not least of which moving country, I did not do it in 2024, but we're back. Round 1, Group A, Mastermind versus Lich, and we start with Wesker. Rules for perk loadouts. You have to run 2 of that killer's perks, and then you can run 2 of any perks at all. You can run any non-iridescent add-on. An egg, some glasses, and a cobbler. It's a wonderful thing. Here we go. Wesker. Thompson House. Not a bad map for him. Nice and capacious outdoors. Big bound potential here. Early patrol. Going to be some early game jitters here. It's the start of the World Cup. It's the opening day. All eyes on him, setting the tone for the tournament. He's been a consistent performer, as we were saying. Consistent 12-hook performances across the board. But that hasn't translated to glory. Had some unfortunate matchups. Look at that shadow, brilliant. Had some unfortunate matchups. We'll be looking to take the final step here. The Wesker camp very confident, looking for glory. Let's see what he can do. Okay. Yuichi to the left. Going to kick the gen immediately. Ash may be giving up a free hit here. No, sprint burst makes a lot of sense. Cheeky little moonwalk. Can the bounds get anything done? Good patience from Wesker. Turning the corner. Yuichi wants to get a blind in there. If you're the Wesker camp, you've got to be happy about that, though. Yuichi's sticking around looking for a torch save. Lack of gem progress could be very, very good indeed. Did Ash give up a hit here? No. Bounding over the pallet. Not the worst idea. As Ash does he double back? He does, but too late. And barring a save for Yuichi, and you know he'll be looking for one, that will be a hook. Furthermore, a pain res hook. Great start. Very informative here. Will pain res hit on this gen? It does not! Yuichi gives away a free hit. Can Wesker capitalise? Not quite. Not quite. I think Wesker as stunned as anyone by that. Maybe should have gone for the bound, but didn't have the wherewithal to react. Oh, and it's a head-on play. It's a memer. It's a memer. As long as Wesker can avoid the tilt, this could be very profitable indeed. As Yuichi does get the window. And doesn't have live, of course, because of the head-on. Dying state there. Another gamer around the hay. Wesker, free hit on the table. He takes those every day of the week. Could things be settling into place for Wesker? He's slugging! He's going to give it a go. He wants to close the game right here, right now. Does he get the injury? No! Mere millimeters away from a 2 dying state situation. And now Yuichi's picked up. Maybe paying the price for the slug is Wesker. Going to go after Lara. And doesn't quite get there, but does close the gap significantly. What do you do now if you're Wesker? Got to avoid the tilt. Got to avoid being rattled here, but it's not how you wanted things to go. Great injury through the pallet. Punishing the camp there. And just missing out on the bound. But is there anywhere to go for Lara? Maybe looking for the pallet up ahead, looking for the window. Got to be vaulting this if you're Wesker. Oh, the bound not quite connecting. Has to get the kick here. And that gen that's been a pressure point all game long finally pops. Lara will be looking for the pallet here. Can Wesker get a bound to deny it? Yes. Oh, but might be denied an injury again. It's all going wrong for Wesker. A small vestigial bit of fence. Lara runs it well. Might get to a pallet here. There is no pallet. What a gift that is. Okay. Yuichi in the vicinity looking for a torch save again. Not going to get it. A very important pain res this. To stop the bleeding, maybe halt the gens and get this game back on track. Right. You've got to be feeling to come out of a game state like that with only 2 hooks to your name. Bitterly, bitterly disappointing for Wesker. Not a bad spot here, though. They drop down, bound could be on the table. It is. And a no doubt injury there. Near Carlson flees the scene. Wesker in hot pursuit. Waiting for those 2 bounds. Could be something on the table here. Yes, it is. Okay. The 3rd hook. Every hook vitally important in a situation like this, in a head-to-head matchup like this, but against Lich, there's a lot of confidence in the Lich camp. They're liking what he's been doing recently. 3 hooks, surely not going to be enough. Still plenty of gens to play with. Big movement on this gen. Not able to complete it. Ash, to the vehicle. Ooh. Wesker not able to punish. Takes the conservative approach. Kicks the gen. Ash heading to Shack. Oh, an ambitious bound there. Almost gets the goods. 1 bound might be enough here. He's going to go for it. Not quite. Not quite. Damn shame. Surprising that you don't get a hit and also don't get the vault there. Back to the gen, which is being moved once more. Lara in play. Fully bound. Could be a huge opportunity here for Wesker. Burns the pallet. Moving around here. Get the kick. Oh, so unfortunate. And from that little drop, they get a full balance landing. Nice. Great bound from Wesker. Such a small tile. Such fine margins, but finds a way to get the hook. 4 hooks in play. Lara will be on death hook after this unhook. Something to keep an eye on. 2 survivors over here. Yuichi and Nia. There is Yuichi. Look for the injury. Gets it. Yuichi giving up some easy hits here. Can Wesker capitalize? Yes! Oh, but will he be denied again? No. The hitbox of the barrel extends just enough to get the dying state. And you can't say he hasn't earned a bit of luck like that. Another hook, first for Yuichi. That will be pain res. That's good. That's good. But if you're Wesker, you've got to find a way to get a survivor out of this game. Lara, a key target. Moving in. Bit of a gift this for Wesker. Just misses. Big gem movement in Shack. He's going to pivot. It is the last token of pain res, and now you're relying entirely on unaugmented gen kicks. Will that be enough? The team have been on the gens significantly after a bit of a me start with some head on. Wesker finds Lara again. The bound is a 1 hit down again. Misses. Needs to hit this. Does. It isn't a 1 hit down. Not quite fully infected. The chase continues. If he can close this down, it really could be GG's with still 3 gens left to play. Let's see how much time Lara can buy for the team. It is surely a matter of not if, but when. Dying state. Gem pops. Ash around the boulder. Yuichi, sorry, around the boulder. Looking for that torch save. Not going to get it. Could be a dying state here. It isn't again. Not quite fully infected. Good injury, though. How memey does Yuichi want to get? Very memey, very bold. Dead hard? No.
Hot performance indeed.
Wesker's popping off, and indeed he may. What a performance this has been. What a turnaround. Gets the kill here and the second hook on Yuichi. Barring no heroics. Away he goes. Okay, all of a sudden, the tide has turned and it's turned towards the Mastermind. Ash and Nia have something of a rebuild to do. Big gen movement upstairs. You can't really afford any gen to pop now if you're Wesker. If one pops, then surely the next will follow quickly. So gotta head up here, gotta kick. And as we say that, there goes Shack gen. Something of a 3 gen, maybe. The upstairs one's so difficult to patrol. Gonna take a glance at the hooks. He is moving in for the save, and Yuichi is a key target for Wesker here. No doubt about it. Are they gonna go for some kind of head-on play? Yes. Back into the locker they go. Could be DS.
You can't hide forever.
If it isn't DS, that could be GG. Of course it's DS. The double stun from Yuichi doing what they need to do to slow Wesker down. Here's the team reciprocating it with gen movement. Ash taking aggro. Getting the bound. Good stuff. Right to the periphery. Where does Ash go from there? Heads back to the main building. Doesn't get a lot of distance here. Wesker gets a drop on him. Just the easiest M1 of your life. And there's Nia. There's no gen movement whatsoever. The House of Cards is toppling. And it's toppling by the hand of the Mastermind. The Ouroboros hand of the Mastermind. Second hook for Ash. Yuichi over in Shack. Gets a first aid spray. Nia could be over there as well. If Wesker can maybe interrupt Nia healing Yuichi, that really could be the beginning of the end. There's Yuichi. Is Nia here? It'd be so good for him if Nia were here. Locker play. Another head on. They've certainly got value out of that perk. And parental guidance. Do these hang around Shack? They do not. Maybe. Tough to say. There they are. There they are. Back on their trail. There's Mastermind. And credit to him. Not rattled by a tough start. Not rattled by the head-on memes. Stayed in the game. Stayed in play. Good, efficient moves. And reaping the benefits here. All Ash can do is go to comp corner. Looking to buy as much time as he can. It won't be a lot. Will it be enough? There is movement upstairs in Thompson House. Get this hook. It'll be Wesker's 9th of the game. Making it a 2 survivor situation. There is gen movement upstairs. There's not a lot of gen movement upstairs. And Nia Carlson forced to vacate the premises. Got to remember for Wesker here, superior anatomy. Not been too useful. Not a highly vault dense map this. But Terminus could be very interesting in the endgame. Should it get to that point, the Wesker team will be hoping that it does not. Just checking on the gens here. No movement there. You want to make sure that Nia moving off of the upstairs gen isn't a sign that the other gens are nearly done. They are not. There's no progress there. So heading upstairs is Wesker. Taking back control of this game. Barely any movement here. What a situation. What a turnaround. Now just got to find, ideally Yuichi, but anyone will do. Listen for injured parties in lockers. You know that Yuichi is a customer who'll be looking for head-on stuns, pairing it up with parental guidance. That perk they're also running. That's counterable. Now Wesker knows about it. Can he find anyone? Nia and Yuichi will no doubt be looking to get together for a heal, if they're going to have any chance of bringing this game back. Worth moving between the lockers here, if you're Wesker. Trying to elicit the head-on to at least find where Yuichi might be. Really walking away from the well-trodden path here. The gens are all on this side, but Wesker's growing a little bit impatient here. This could be a mistake. Maybe you do just need to be more patient than the survivors, patrol the gens, wait for them to make a mistake. I think he realises that. He's heading back. Does Terminus block adrenaline? It blocks the heal, but it does not block the speed boost. But the speed boost isn't too important these days. That's the element of adrenaline that was nerfed. Whew. And there is movement here. Okay, so there's got to be a survivor around Thompson House. Good intel. Good intel. Listening for injury noises, but you imagine it will be Nia Carlson. Do you reckon? Worth a look. Worth a look. They have dropped down before. The one time we saw them flee the gen, they went off to the right. So they went through this door, and perhaps... Again, worth a look. Checking on 2 downstairs gens. A lull in play for sure. Maybe an opportunity for a breather that we all desperately need. A very, very intense game of Dead by Daylight. Still all to play for here. Against Lich. This Lich is strong. Vecna is a strong customer, and there's Nia Carlson. 9 hooks might not get it done, and 9 hooks might not be what Wesker is settling for. As they go for the vault. Drop down. No bounce landing. There's the hit. Is that a key in Nia Carlson's hand? Hatch is the bane of every World Cup killer. You do not want to keep a key survivor in play. They go to the bathroom. And they find nothing but misery there. Okay. Is it death hook for Nia Carlson? It is not. That's ideal for Wesker. You really do want to deny Hatch if at all possible. And that means you can't rest on your laurels. You can't really camp hook here. You've got to go out there and find Yoichi before Nia goes on to the next. One good thing about go next prevention, it does afford the killer a little bit more time to find a survivor and to deny Hatch. Listening. No injury noises here. Could be in basement. Oh, it's a risky play, but seeing that spray up there, he is in basement. There it is. Oh my giddy aunt. The delayed stun from head on. Yoichi has been given a gift from the gods. Is that going to be important? Is that going to deny a last hook stage? Could that be the difference between winning and losing? Yoichi keeps on moving. Wesker, too scared to go for the pound, does so. There it is. And gets the hook. Wow. It was almost the most disastrous of plot twists at the end. But Wesker gets it done. 12 hook performance. And now a 1-point draw. The only thing the Lich can play for. Nice tunnel, loser. Unlucky map. Absolute worst. Okay. Worst of all, this guy's posing as Slate, though. That's like a weird identity crisis you got going there. I do play Dead by Daylight, is the thing. I mean, that's what I do. There's too many people who are like, Slate on Dead by Daylight. Give me a break. Give me a break. If this was Unreal Tournament 5, okay, that would, yeah, probably not me. I see it's you, GG. GG, well played. Good luck with next. Vecna. Ormond Lake Mine. Orb out there. Someone in a mimic. Gonna try and take advantage of that. Okay, downstairs they go. Flight of the Damned? They just run through. And that was such a good play. Such a good play. Sending the skulls out there from a lower platform. You can't run that add-on that makes them lower, but if you do it from that lower platform, that lower elevation... then they connect regardless. Using Mage Hand to try and prevent the pallet stun. That might be a problem. That might be a problem. My friends, we've encountered our first cheater of the game. Are you alright? Oh, Jesus Christ. It's so visceral. I hate it. We've encountered our first cheater of the tournament. So, the game is not valid. It will be a redo. Oh, dearie me. Oh, Deary me, what a nightmare. Well, we've got to bounce. Godspeed, team. Is it a cheat or a bug? It's a cheater. Toba landing. All right. Here we go. Immediate orb from Vecna. Had that warm-up game. Aura reading. Near the chest over there. And try and put some pressure on. There we go. And 2 gamers right here. Could be sprint burst. They're holding off here. Yep, it is. And good duck. At exactly the right time. Kicking the pallet. Okay. A burnt pallet, but that's it. Another burnt pallet there. That might be Vecna taking his leave, in all sincerity. 2 burnt pallets. Maybe a bit of a competent looper, a confident looper with sprint burst. Maybe you've seen enough of Vecna. Maybe you're going to go after the mimic chest and the Claudette who activated it. Look for the M1 here. Chance of the skulls. No joy, but the crouch means the M1's in play. Do they burn the pallet? They do, okay. You're not unhappy with Shack pallet being burnt at that time. Another sprint burst is such a shame. Maybe ruining the lack of Mindbreaker here. But you really need to start getting injuries, need to start getting hooks if you're back there. You can't rest on broken pallets alone. Needing the skulls out there. Ideally, when they vault. That'll be a crouch. Is that enough to get the hits here? No, it isn't. Gotta leave. Going after Age with a flight. Good bit of flight. Wanted the mage hand. Ooh, they don't even go for the pallet. So there's your first injury. Vecna's on the board. But still a long, long way to go in search of the perfect game, the 12 hooks. Pallet burn. Not getting a lot of use out of mage hand here, choosing instead to burn these pallets. Hoping that pays off in the end game. Gonna fly through and then vault back. Does that get anything done? Doesn't burn the pallet. That should be a dying state. Fascinating decisions not burn that pallet. Gem movement over here. Vecna gonna try and push them away. Sprint burst. Gets the kick out there. Aura reading shows that they have fully left the premises. Should be a safe hook. Vecna's first. They'll be hoping the first of many. Okay. No one back on that gen immediately. Aha! Movement back here. Vecna circling around. And no scratch marks to be seen. What happened? What happened? Are they hiding around here? Oh, a frustrating little exchange. There they are. But amid all the confusion, another gem pops. Not going to go through the window? Oh, well played. Vecna expecting them to hold off. But they do not. Credit to them. There's a vault. The skulls. Too slow. The crouch denies the injury. And things are looking pretty grim. Mage hand. Getting it out there. And... ooh. Hold on just a second. Claudette, I think, aggrieved by what they view as a sandbag. Gives away a free hit. And Vecna could be in the money here. Burns the pallet immediately. A lot of pallets gone. A lot of map management. Is that enough? Clearly not on its own, but maybe a good end game on the horizon for Vecna here. An audacious flight of the damned. Doesn't connect. Claudette keeps on moving. Mage hand not up. Skull's not up. Nothing really going his way right now. Has to move around the pallet. Mage hand is risky, but he's going to go for it. Oh, I didn't need to. Didn't need to. That's a pallet that could have been burnt. Still, second hook in play. First hook for Claudette. Another gem pops. Big movement here. Gotta be Pop Goes a Weasel. See if there's any nearby auras for a quick chase. Someone upstairs. This could be a good opportunity for Vecna. Oh, chooses to go for the downstairs. The downstairs survivor, Feng Min. The crouch gives away an M1. And the flight to keep on top of them, stop them from fleeing the tile entirely. Mage hands could be decent here. Does that get away before they're done? No. No, good stuff from Vecna. Good oppression of the tile. Good denial of the pallet. A good hook, but still just behind where he would ideally want to be. Heading all the way over here. Two parties healing. Jen pops to the left. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And it's a nasty, a diabolical 3 Gen. For Vecna, there's a Mimic. Get him to burn the pallet to the left, I'm not going to. Skulls, possible. Well played. Avoiding the skulls and dropping the pallet. Good stuff. Good stuff from the survivor. Horrible stuff if you're Vecna. Gonna try and put some more pressure on this Gen. You've got to be worried about that Gen to the left, though, in amongst all this. Sprint burst, of course. They just held off for way too long there. A gimme, and you don't want to give Vecna any chances. Not a great game for him, but he can always bring this back. He's going to try and do so here. 2 survivors up ahead. This could be magical for Vecna. A couple of injuries. They weren't moving that Gen over there. Do they know it's there? Interesting question. Good bit of flight from Vecna. Pallet is still here. That's going to be tough. He's not going to mage hand. They want this vault again. They'll get this vault again, but that could be a dying state. It will be. A heal for the other Fang, meaning that that Gen's not moving still. Getting the hook. Making a decision that this Gen is probably the scariest, and indeed it is. There's Claudette, there's Sprint Burst. Okay, coming back for the kick. Very, very important Pop Goes a Weasel play. He's delighted that he bought that. Any chance of that connects? No way, right? Way too low. This could be a closing down the chase on Fun kind of situation. Also takes Vecna back to this Gen that has a bit of movement, not too much, not too concerned about that. Gonna try and take this chase. The skulls are not there. He's not using Mage Hand again. Oh my lord, it was last stand. It looks for all the world like it was gonna be a hit on Isle, but he somehow connects. Can he get a hook? Can this be the momentum shifter? It is a kill. It is a kill. So much rides on whether this Gen pops before Vecna gets there. Flight is so fast, and he does get there. Great kick. Interestingly, Claudette was not on that Gen. She's on this one. Good wherewithal to stay on them. Get the kick here. Another bit of aura reading. They're hiding. They're hiding. You can't hide from Vecna. Not in a situation like this. Okay. If there ever were a locking in moment, this is surely a great bit of flight from Vecna. What an unbelievable move. Dying state. Possibly second hook for Claudette. An incredibly important use of flight there to close down the dying state. And all of a sudden, the tide may be turning. It is second hook. Heading to this Gen, which had a bit of movement and could surely be a pressure point right now. There is a lot of movement here. Good decision from Vecna. Any aura reading? There is, there is. Oh, just ducking in time. Good play. And then they'll get away. Okay. Claudette off the hook immediately. That is not the chase that Vecna wants. Vecna wants to get back to these Gens, back to Claudette, maybe make this a 2 survivor situation. There they are. Going for the heal. Do they get it? They do. Sprint burst already used. Okay. Immediate pallet burn, not the worst thing in the world. Vecna was going to come out of the flight anyway. That is an animation that is kind of akin to a stun. Getting the same result, but having a pallet burnt. No issues there.
Decisions.
No Claudette aura. Worth a look, right? Worth a look. Okay. Getting back as Vecna. And there goes Ada. Oh, aura reading on Fung all the way over there. Ah, just misses with the skulls. You've got to make them at least crouch. You've got to make them crouch with those skulls. And they get their gen. Wow, a real surprise. A real surprise they had that gen that far along. And now Vecna is in a lot of trouble. Needs the M1 here. Needs a dying state here, but also can't take too long. Can't take too long because the gens will be moving. The skulls have not got too much so far. Can they get a really, really clutch dying state here? Oh, they didn't crouch, but the skulls just miss. However, there is another survivor around here. Oh, the pallet stun is painful. How's the gate looking? The gate's not moving. That is important. All of these pallets. Mage hands. And someone's opened a gate. If one person leaves, it's 3 points for Wesker. Vecna is living on a hope and a prayer, and Claudette will not go down. Unbelievable work here. Good denial of the pallet. Injury there. His only hope is to slug and keep people in the game. That's what he's going to try and do. Get the orb out there, get some intel. Someone's moving to the gate. It looks like they're going to leave. Is there any altruism in this lobby? It doesn't look like it. Vecna's trying to do anything he can. Willing them to stay in the trial. Maybe sneak an injury with a skull. See if he can turn that into a dying state. He can't. They're crouching up and down. Moving back to the dying state survivor. Because maybe Ada's over here. Moving the gate. Getting the recovery. Anything he can do to keep the survivors in the trial, he is going to try. Moving back. Is there gate progress? There is no gate progress. Where was that dying state? There's recovery. There's the recovery. But where have they gone? The dying state was here. Injured party roughly over there. Okay. There's a chance. There's a chance. A very small chance, but a chance nonetheless. Injury here. Could it be the most outrageous skull hit of all time? Oh my Gideon! It's skulls, it's a dying state, and it's an injury. That is absolutely absurd. Okay. You can hook Ada. Ada is not dead on hook. They might want to come in for the save. It would be just it is the most Hail Mary of Hail Marys, but he's got the chance. He's put himself in with a chance here. Is anyone going to go for a save? Is anyone going to make a play here? You need to move away from the gate. You need to encourage them to move in. Maybe get an orb out there to see if there's anyone moving in. A chance of skulls? Oh my god, it was so close. It was so close. The only hope if you're Vecna is that they move in, and it's unlikely they will in a spot like this. Have a look. Do you see anyone moving in? Do you see any survivors? They're healing. You want to encourage those heals. Claudette gets moving in. They're bloody going for it. They're bloody going for it. The skulls. Will they be there in time? They will. The denial of the hook! What does Fung do? Fung's healthy. Does Fung move in? Could the endgame timer be the thing that gives Vecna the 4K? Move away from the hook. The only hope, the literal only hope is that Fung stays in the trial for some reason. Are they moving in? The timer collapses. The hook death. Where is Fung? What's she doing? Is she going for the recovery? Is there hope? Is there a chance? What's she gonna do? Is she gonna leave? She leaves. She leaves. So it won't be the 4K, it won't be the 12 hooks, but my god, he left everything on the table there, did Vecna. GG, 3 points go to Wesker, 0 to Vecna. Lich got a total of 9 hooks. Meaning the Mastermind gets his first win of the tournament. Vecna suffers his first loss. Mastermind with 9 hooks. Lich, Mastermind with 12 hooks, sorry. Lich with 9. Right. Freddy versus Trickster.